Hello, this is Jay with Fish Green Kayak Tours again, sitting out here on the river, taking a little break. I was going to go over a few of the new madbite lures that I've been using. This, I would have to say, has been my favorite topwater plug so far. It's the Top Dog topwater plug. It comes with rattles in it. It has a nice little popper mouth on it, but the nicest thing, those hooks are really sharp. The nicest thing about this little guy is that you can use it as a topwater plug, just, you know, pop, 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 or if you go a little bit faster with it, it actually has the walk the dog motion. It likes to dart back and forth, which looks like a wounded bait fish. And I usually mix it up a little bit. I'll do a little pop pop, and then I'll give it a couple quick jerks, which makes it dart left and right, which doesn't make any popping noise, but it drives the bass and the striper crazy. One of the little things that I do to modify this guy to make him a little bit more active, have a little bit more action to him, which the fish seem to like a little bit more, is I put a little feather on the tail. Now, it doesn't seem like much, but it really helps a lot with the action. You know, when it stalls, when you're stopping and just sitting there, the tail just kind of flutters real slow down, and they just cannot resist that. But anyway, that is the number one plug that I've been using almost every day when I come out on the river, and the bass and the striper have been loving it. Another one that's been really nice too, that I've been having a lot of luck on, is just the standard popper that they have. It's this is the shad color. Comes with, you know, a little rattle in there too. I've been doing really well with this one also. Not as good as the Top Dog, but you know, some things work better than the others. Another one that I've been having really good luck on, that I caught a striper on today, is this jerkbait. And this guy has a lot of rattle to it. I mean, he rattles up a storm. This way, it doesn't matter what way you move it, it rattles, which is super nice. I mean, I've been catching a ton of striper on this guy. Little bitty hooks, they're real sharp. I haven't had any trouble with any bending them or breaking them off. It comes with the feather on the tail, which is another really nice thing about it. The hooks are a little different. They're not round, they're kind of squared, which is kind of nice. I don't know if you can really see it, but they have really good hook sets with them. This one floats. When you get on it and jerk it a little bit, it will go under the surface just a tad bit, but that's kind of nice because it looks more like a wounded bait fish when it floats, and then it dives down back under the water and then it comes back up, which is really nice. Like I said, in the rivers, the striper earlier in the spring, how we're just tearing this guy up. Oh, another guy I've been using a little bit more for night fishing is just a regular topwater, not a popper, just walk the dog, just darts back and forth as you jerk it, which is real nice. Got rattles in it too. No, actually, it doesn't have any rattles in this one. Shows you how much I know. I'm not always right. But anyway, then we have a little bit bigger topwater plug. This guy has caught a couple really nice bass right at dusk. It's got a good rattle in it. It's got a good reflective coating on the side, which looks like scales, which is real. The bass really like that. Big old chugger mouth, which makes some really nice splashes when you pop it. Really good action. I didn't put a feather on this one yet, but I think I'm going to, just to see if it helps out. And then we have the little baby pop. This little guy is tiny, but it works really well. You know, a lot of I've caught a couple nice bass on this. The perch love it, the brim love it, and you know, just a smaller plug. You have to use a little bit lighter rod, a little lighter line, but it has some really good action, and it does pop really well for something that's this small. You know, the eyes look real good. You know, it does have a big chugger mouth on it, so it pops nice. And then we have another one of the regular topwater plugs, but it's got the clear body, which is kind of cool. You can see the bearings rolling around in there. Added a little black and white tail to this guy. Haven't caught quite as many fish on this as I thought I was going to, but it could be that just time of the year, or I might just need to try it in the dark and see what it does at nighttime. I've been doing really well with the white, but you know, since it's clear, it might be a little harder for them to see, so I might need to use it in a little clearer water. That's another big key, is, you know, the water clarity. If you have a really clear water, you can use a smaller bait, you know, a little more translucent. They can see it a little better. You know, when you have a little muddier water, you're going to want to use, you know, something like this when the water is muddy or it's dark. You know, so it's a little easier for the fish to see. I have a tendency to use, like I said, I use this guy like right at dusk or fishing in the shade. It does really well when you're fishing in the shade, or even I've done really good on it on real sunny days, but mainly when it's cloudy, it does a whole lot better. It's got just a little bit of tint. You can't really see it in the camera, I don't think, but it changes from white on the bottom to a blue and then to the black on top, which is just like a shad does. So I think that's why it does so well in the river out here. It's got the really nice yellow eyes with the black in the middle, so it looks just like a real shad, especially with the black stripe down the back. I think the only thing it would need now is maybe just a little purple dot on the side back here where it make it look more like a shad. But besides that, those are some of my favorite plugs and jerk baits. So I will let you get back to fishing, and I'm going to try to catch some fish and catch and release. Remember, that's the only way to have fish for the future. Have a good day.